Alright, so clearly I'm talking into a mic, but it's a different one, and I don't know how its sound is going to balance compared to the last one. This headset's cord is also a little too short, because of course it is. I have a whole fucking rant about cables being shorter than they need to be, but I will spare you. What I do have is updates on shit that I've done. So, start here. All these are done. We talked about that. I got a little bit more done there, I think. No, it's in here. Because I found that one, and I went and bought that one from Marnie. So, I have all the books. I have... It may be easier to show this way. Oh, right. I spent the money and resources, but money getting all 4 of those. But the one that's most relevant is actually up here. I've already done this for the day. I picked this one up today, and everything but one for all the food I'd accumulated went in the shipping bin. And I cooked some stuff with overflow items. And I have no idea how much it adds up to until tomorrow. But I finally got that fucking caviar done and sent. So that's done. I've made most of them. There are 2 recipes I haven't bought off of his redemption thing yet, so I definitely can't make those. And the other crafting recipes I haven't made requires a fuck ton of moss. Moss? Yeah. They require... Is there another one that I didn't make? I made one of everything, whether or not I needed it or wanted it. Yeah, I think I've got everything else done, except those 2 that require moss I do not have, and will have to wait until whenever the green rain happens next in summer, so next week or later in game. Oh, we might as well get to Robin's next. I bought all of the upgrades, including the take this wall down, take that wall down, get rid of the crib. And I decided to actually, use these. I don't actually have any interest in the retro stuff, but I have the thing for it anyway. And other than the Sleeping Purple Junimo, and I think that's where the mushroom lamp came from, I haven't really had a use for the stuff in there. Some of the wizard stuff I've used, and the rest of it's from the regular, and then this is the furniture one, which I haven't really gone through yet. But, so, I have rearranged this. The bubbles made sense for the wallpaper for the one with the aquatic stuff otherwise. The viney one for the plant room. And then mushrooms there. And the gourmand statue. Can't decorate down here, but it's doing its thing. Little bone corner. Oh, I did build... I had built this already. That's actually a craftable. But I built all of the braziers. But since there was a skull one and I had some skeletons, I figured that would work. I didn't know I could move that, but I did. I've got this done and upgraded and recolored, but I haven't moved anything in it, and I haven't built more casks, because that's really the only thing I'd want to put in there. All this stuff that's out, I might want to rearrange, but unless it's on a 24-hour schedule, I don't want it to be out of sight, because then it will be out of mind, and I won't be letting the usefulness of the hopper actually be useful. Speaking of Robin, she had a community upgrade, which was 1/2 mil and like 950 wood to build Pam a house, but there isn't a frame in construction like there is for stuff she does on our map. So I just have to wait a few in-game days for that to be done. And then I expect she has something else afterwards. Oh, it is a new day, so I can check on the raccoons. Or, it's a new week, so I can check on the raccoons and see what random thing they have today. If they've got another little guy. I don't see one. Just the 5. Okay. You don't want anything else. I'm working on that. Working on that. This implies that I'm not done with you yet, or it's broken. No idea what that is. I hope those end up growing. I've fertilized them all. Fiber and stone I have to spare. I hope they end up growing before I end up wanting to move this down a couple. But that occurred to me after I put them all down and fertilized them. It's fine if they're not. But, yeah. So, yeah, progress. This one, I had 24 spare, and by spare I mean no star or iron star quality eggs that were in the hopper waiting to be mayo. But I've only gathered 8 today, so. And this is not the first of these special board quests where, yeah, I have the thing on hand, but you also want me to gather more, so I can do the second part first, and then get around to finishing the first part. Because thankfully, it doesn't actually care which order that happens in. I prefer the ones where it doesn't care about the collecting and only cares about the delivery. But make do with what you got. So, yeah. All of the fruit trees on the island are done, but those were all planted before the overflow started getting planted here. I want to know how much I've shipped today, but my day ain't over yet. So, oh, I have added a few more mods, some of which would be more useful for starting a new one, like that. And that one you can't do anything with once you're in-game, but it's either it's enabled and a new one will start with it, or it's not, which is why it makes sense to only be able to edit it before you enter a new game. And I already had one when I got it, so it didn't impact my game either way. What else did I add? Oh, cheaper staircases. This, and since I've already done the forging and enchanting for my gear, this isn't impacting this character. This should help with how fast this doesn't impact fruit trees, just wild trees. So it should help the 30, I think, mahogany trees that I planted grow before I want to move that field down a little, because I want more room here so I can have like a double row of the crafting stuff, and then have it be easier for me to move around between them and rearrange the chests, I think. But yeah, so scooch these down a little. But that happens when everything's dead at the end. Well, except for the tea plants at the end of the season. So, come summer 1, I would like to scooch these down 2, at least. I am going to double check whether or not tea plants are affected by crows. They shouldn't be. But I do want to double check before I decide to move things down by more than 2. Because 2 would put them at the edge of the coverage map. And then, yes, of course, the beehives are going to have to move too. But at least 2, maybe more. To give more space for managing all this shit. And one chicken is not quite there for some reason. Oh, did the other ones eat bluegrass and you ate regular? They were all gotten at the same time. Well, I got void chicken first, but the others, regular chickens, I got at the same time, so that one being half a heart off is weird. But yeah, animals are perfectly content, I guess. And yeah, the rest of my day is re-enabling the movement of time and letting these cycle through their shit. Really, I could repopulate these, because I've done the potato juice, it's fucking vodka, quest, and redistribute something else across those, because I don't think it's worth it. I'll throw you in there. I have a fuck ton of potatoes. But most things I had sold down to my 25s, and then I got that cooking thing. So, that potato recipe requires oil, which I don't have a lot of. I'm working on making it, but it takes time. It would go a lot faster if I used sunflowers instead of sunflower seeds. But oil having a quality doesn't give the food you make with it a quality, so it's just a waste. The flowers process faster than the seeds, but I'm fine with burning through those seeds. I had a bunch of spares, because sunflowers drop seeds, usually. So I ended up with a ridiculous number of them that are currently split into 5 hoppers to be oil. Yeah. But then I harvested a bunch more. Mm. There. Now they get to work on that too. Oh, yeah, this cord being too short is awkward and a little uncomfortable. So, I do have the extension cable on its way, but for short rambly bits, I think I can make it vaguely tolerable, but it should be short things, because this is not a comfortable position to be in. That being said, I'm going to be changing this, and you don't need to see the sitting and waiting.